was hard, we had opened, it was stressful, it was a lot on us. The first year and a half that we were open, and 18 teachers, and building out the site, and newborn, toddler, it was crazy. And I think it put a lot of stress on the situation, and it was hard, and it became clear that the marriage part wasn't gonna be able to, sustain. But I think the reason that we have been able to stay in business together and co-parent successfully, and he's one of my best friends. I mean, it is unusual, is that I had seen with my own parents' divorce, which happened when I was 4, what it looks like when, and I love my parents. But it was acrimonious, it was difficult. And I've also seen so many other people, I've heard from people, I've gotten emails from people going through divorce, and it's just, I think when there are kids involved, and again, I've been on both sides of this, right? I've been the kid and now I'm the parent, and that's, of course, the last thing I wanted, having lived through it. The last thing I wanted was to end up, being divorced with little kids. But sometimes, again, you gotta loosen your grip on the story. And so when it became clear that we weren't gonna be able to save the marriage, sustain the marriage, I just thought, we have to be friends, That is the only way this is all gonna work. And it's a choice. It's a choice. You just decide, that is what I'm doing. Because I'm sure people who don't have great relationships with their mom or their dad, and that is a tremendous burden. Nobody does that easily. I know people that have had to just walk away. I don't speak to my mom, or I don't speak to my dad. You don't get to that point lightly. I think that, if people who don't have good relationships with their dad or with their mom, then it is a burden. And when you're a parent, your job is to try to lift the burden. And so, and it's not always possible. We have a very unusual situation, and I'm very well aware of that. We are in business together. We live nearby each other. We're friends. And not everybody can work it that way, and I get that. Sometimes there are things that have happened or that are continuing to happen, or you're dealing with a personality disorder, or you're dealing with all kinds of, you can't be friends. But for the most part, I feel like your job in that scenario is to make it as easy as possible for your kids, and that involves scheduling, custody agreements. I know people that have their kids going back and forth so much, like I did. And it has, I hesitate to say it because I know sometimes it's just how it is and there's nothing you can do, and a judge has decided this is what it's going to be. And so I don't want those parents that are in that situation to feel terrible. And everybody's different. Everybody has different levels of resiliency and, and all of that. But if you, as a parent, can think about, could I live with this schedule? Is this something, could I deal with whatever I'm asking my kid to deal with? Could I do it and still be happy and okay? And if the answer is no, then it doesn't really matter what the judge said. You figure out with your ex, something that is going to be okay. That's what I think. I think that that's why it's been successful for us, because we were both invested in making sure the kids came first, and the business, is like our third kid.